as I was telling you about a couple of months ago, I had a conversation with a Christian downstairs, and he was talking like this. So the Christians on their site, so-called Christian hub, this is what they say. The Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings. He will go out and leap like clouds, blah, 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 blah. The Son of Righteousness, their explanation, can also be translated as what?
Son of vindication.
Now, I don't really want to read this all bullshit to you, yeah? But he's trying to explain this verse. Listen what he says. It can be also classified as the Son of Vindication. The context concerned the day of the Lord, the time when God vindicates his people and judge sin. This vindication will be clear to all like the bright light of the sunlight. So you see, he's saying, he don't know why the fuck they spelled S-U-N. But he needs to translate this to you to mean this is what God means. But he cannot source that. You have to stop him and say, where did you get this breakdown from? Then it means this, so I can do my research. And then once you do that, you hear him say, now that's just my opinion. But you're putting it in a block.
Yeah.
As if this is what it really means. The one describes the Son of Righteousness can be no other than Jesus Christ himself. So he's confirmed. The person who you describe as the Son of Righteousness can be no other than Jesus Christ himself. The Lord is called the Lord your righteousness. Now here we're using the word Lord, but we also use that word when we just read the Quran. Correct? But is this Lord Allah? Christians will say to you, no. You see the confusion? So now it says the Messiah is pictured as a sunrise in several passages. Of course he is. It's Aries, my friend. That's when most of your killing happens. You've seen it. The solstice. Come on, man, we don't know these things? When the sun is the highest in the sky? Okay. But we know this is the sundial of Egypt. You could not get the concept from nowhere else. The winged serpent. The fact that the Son of Righteousness rides with healing in its wings invokes the picture of the wings of a bird stretched across the sky. This is what the Christian guy is talking about. But when you read that, of course that's the image, because that's the image you saw all over Egypt. They didn't spell it S-U-N for no reason. It's spelt that way because they weren't talking about a white man called Jesus Christ. And the concept and the context in which you're laying it out is completely wrong. So God's desire was always been to provide righteousness to those who trust him. Why would I need to trust God? As if I leave a tenner here, he's going to come down and steal it. You cannot fear someone and love them at the same time. So when the Muslims say we fear Allah, you cannot fear Allah and love him at the same time. It's a contradiction. So, coming towards the end. Maimonides, you know who this is already. He's written several books, but this is a good one of his. The Guide for the Perplexed. You know why it's called The Guide for the Perplexed? Because when people read the books, they're perplexed.
Confused.
So he's going, let me write them a guide. Let's listen to what he said in here. He says, then, the slogan of sola scriptures might be true insofar as it goes as a statement of scripture's absolute authority in theology and matters. But those who abandon their reason and senses when interpreting the Bible, the position of fundamentalism or what? Verbalistic fideism is what you always hear me talk about. What does that mean? It means I'm here talking verbally. I'm believing in stuff, but I haven't got no sources. It's just chatter. You understand? Are in fact not showing any great honor to the Bible's authority. They are actually distorting Scripture's authentic meaning and sealing themselves off to the living word by refusing to use their God-given faculties of mind. The correct and faithful way of reading Scriptures includes scientific reasoning, which is also a tool of spiritual discernment philosophy. One can easily fall prey to the illusion that one understands Scriptures by virtue of being able to read Hebrew. Note in his analysis of Maimonides philosophy of science. In fact, in point of fact, many words and phrases are, as it were, encoded. They have a particular philosophic sense, so that understanding them or their ordinary meaning inevitably leads to error, even heresy. For the naive reader, the revealer text therefore full of pitfalls. So what is he saying? You cannot pick up the Bible and go, in the beginning there was a snake and the snake went on his stomach, and take it literally, because he's saying it's encoded. So no snakes talk.
No,
And even then he's
he
like,
beat him up so he didn't put it on.
No,
But later on,
no.
when he started to see something,
Yeah.
then he went and picked the glass up and put it on and saw.
and everywhere they were going, they would see these people, because
And the
they're seeing them.
signs.
You're seeing them for who they really are. Right now, you're not seeing them. You're seeing them walking down the runway like this, and you think these girls are top models. But if you're seeing them, how we see them truly, and how they saw themselves, the reason why they go, it's because they've never seen themselves in the true day of light. Well, when he's talking to the black girl, she's like that.
Yeah.
Her skin was glowing. Because God, as you call them, must have known that this sun, you are going to need protection from it. So why didn't he give them protection? Why did you have to go into the lab and mix something called sunblock? And then ask me, when you go to the Caribbean, do you wear sunblock? I just look at them like, are you facing it? So we're not seeing in that spectrum. But it says in Plato, when we were talking about the cave, finally, when he said the guy ascended and he came out into the light when we was doing Plato's Cave, what did he say? He said, finally, I suppose, he'll be able to see the sun. Not images of it in the water or some alien place, because he couldn't look on the sun directly, because he was in darkness. But the sun itself, in its own place, and be able to study it, Socrates, necessarily so. And at this point, he would infer and conclude that the sun provides the season and the years, governs everything in the visible world, and is in some way the cause of all things that he used to see. Socrates, it's clear that would be his next step. Do you understand that? But what did we used to say about Ra? We used to say, Ra, Egyptian sun god,